Yep, mic was muted. Good night, everyone. Good night. This is Sajibal. What a day. Oh my god, what a goddamn day I've had. I'll tell you a bit about my day, but first let me make sure that everything's in order. As you can see, have made some improvements to my stream. I made a little bit of an improvement to my avatar. First of all, I removed the wink and I removed the pointing arm. I didn't hate it. I think that I will add them later at some point. But the fact that they just happened every time I opened my mouth, they just made them um, a little bit distracting. Like I was watching the bots back and I guess the archives back, and they were just happening to like it was just like a little flickering image in the corner of the screen. So I just thought that I will remove them from now and maybe later I'll add them. So now I am using a new, well, it's not new, the software, right? A software I found called Vidu Tube Mini, I think it's the name. And it basically allows me to have a little bit more of an advanced um PNG tuber thing, avatar. Instead of having like only two possible states of being it allows me to like have the two states, like the open mouth and the closed mouth, and has like a little bit of a wiggle animation when I speak. I'm still not fully convinced that I like it because it's a little bit jittery sometimes. But other than that, I'm quite pleased with it, and it also adds like the random blinking intervals, which makes the avatar feel a little bit more alive. Other than that, I did tweak my mic a little bit. I am now using a software aid, like a software um, to channel my audio through. It's a little bit finicky and it doesn't give me as much control as I wanted. So I'm still working around with it. And connected to that, I spent a little bit of my weekend. I'll talk about my weekend later, but I basically spent a few hours of the weekend trying to find new music for the stream. As you can probably hear now, the stream is the music is muted, or rather, there's no music on the stream right now. So that's because, well, John, for the person that shows up sometimes on chat, told me that the music I was using was a bit depressing. I guess that's just the kind of person I am. But I found it a bit relaxing. But yeah, I don't know. I tend to like more mellow or I guess nostalgic sounds. But I wanted to look for like another piece that maybe was a little bit more not to the taste of like the general public, because I don't really mind not appealing to everyone, but maybe just a little bit more upbeat so the stream doesn't feel as melancholic. I know that I'm not like the highest energy person, but I don't want to be like, oh yeah, all the time I'm so tired, and no, I want to be like a little bit more. I like I'm here to draw, and I'm here to share my passion for art, so I want to like not be super upbeat because that's just not who I am, but just you know, I don't want this to be a place of like melancholy and self pity. I don't know, like absolute sadness all the time. For now, I've been looking for like royalty free music, and I found like a lot of music from Japanese artists that I've really enjoyed, to the point that I kind of reached like the sources where a lot of TikTok music comes from, or like a lot of like when you see a short like cozy YouTube short for like art tips or like for room decoration or stuff. The royalty free music they use, I found the artists that made them without looking for them. Right, I was just going down the rabbit hole until I reached them, and I quite like those songs. But I guess that it's just a little bit like, how would you say it, like uh not they are a little bit overused, and since they have such a general use, they don't really like give me the impression that they would be like a good fit for an art stream. I guess that's what I want to say. So I'm not gonna use them, and I don't think that I'm gonna use like music from that artist, even though I found that they have not published much in the like recently. But yeah, I've been after that I kept looking, and I found this song called, give me 1 second, need to close some stuff. It's called, I guess it's called 10 degrees Celsius, and it's made by Shadow. Ooh, I wish I could read katakana so I could read the proper pronunciation of their name. But I quite like it. I'm gonna start playing it, and well, I guess I don't know if there's anyone in chat right now, but I would like if I would like it if someone can tell me if the volume is all right, but like between my voice and the music and stuff. And I also want to know if maybe the loop is too short and it becomes annoying. I'm gonna be listening to it too, because with the past music I had, I was not listening to it, so maybe I didn't have a good gauge of how annoying or how relaxing it really was. I was just sitting in silence here for some reason. I don't know why I did that. So this time I'm gonna be listening to it alongside you, so I can like get into the same vibe. So yep, I'm gonna start playing the music and we can see how it goes. I also wanna like maybe check how it sounds on my phone, since there's no one here, I think. Yeah, let's go for it. I'm gonna start playing it like very low because I don't want to blow anyone's eardrums. And then when I'm sure that it sounds fine, maybe I can increase the volume a little bit. But yeah, it's this kind of vibe. It's like relaxing, not too high energy. It's maybe a little bit too cutesy for me, right? Like, I'm an old man. And this is more like I don't know, it gives me a bit of like youth vibe, I guess. But it's fine. I quite enjoy it. I guess I'll see. I still don't. I still haven't like decided on what I want to do with like the vibes of this stream of like self-image or self-branding, what I want to represent, what I don't want to represent. Well, I guess I know what I don't want to represent. Like I know a lot of I know a lot of things that I don't want to be, but I haven't yet decided on what I want to present myself as. That's why I kind of made like a very generic avatar for now that just kind of looks like me. So that it's like a blank canvas for everything I decide in the future. But yeah, before I start drawing, I don't want to yap for too long without putting pen to paper. Guess we'll start drawing, and while I draw, first of all, I'll introduce like the topic of tonight. What we're gonna be doing today is drawing boxes. Yep, it's probably the most boring uh, topic that we could possibly tackle, right? Let me like withdraw a little. That's why my avatar on the thumbnail is so bored. Like, why are we drawing boxes? Like, why? The thing about boxes is that we all think that we can draw a box. Like, if you're watching right now and maybe you're an artist like me, or you want to be an artist like me. No, you don't want to be an artist like me. If you're aspiring to be an artist the same way that I'm aspiring to be an artist, and you were asked to draw a box, you would be like, yeah, of course I can draw a box. It's simple. It's just that. And boom, that's a box. Right? Well, ignore this corner here. It's like, yeah, like we all know how to draw like a basic 3D shape box thingy. But the thing is that this box that most people tend to draw when they are asked to draw a box is usually an isometric box. What this means is that this angle tends to be the same as this angle and tends to be the same as this angle. If I had drawn the box better, it would be more clear, but this angle is also the same as this angle, and this angle is the same as this one, right? Like every single angle that goes in the same direction is completely parallel to the next one, which means that if we were to extend these angles in the same direction, right? Like, I think I can do this. No, how do I do this? I just did it. By mistake. How did I do that? I'm still... Okay, this one. Right, if we extend these angles to infinity, right, like this, they are never gonna overlap, or they're never gonna converge anywhere. And that's not quite how reality works. This type of drawing, right, like isometry, is very good for isometric video games or for isometric representations of structures and cities or furniture or like industrial design, because it gives you like very easily recognizable, or like very accurate measurements, because like 1 centimeter here, like if this was 1 centimeter, it would look exactly the same as 1 centimeter here, right? So it's very good for like that type of design, but it's not great for drawing. It's not great for drawing more fluid things. What's the word? English. Come on, work. English. It's not great for drawing like organic shapes, like people, which is my main topic of interest, because I want to draw. I want to draw characters. Mainly, more than anything, this is what I want to do. Right? If you have seen my art, or if you are familiar with the things I've made, characters is like my main topic. And this is terrible for that. So what we're gonna be doing today is drawing boxes. Oh god. I'm gonna be drawing boxes. Let me redraw this whole thing. Drawing boxes in perspective. And this is like the vein of every artist's existence, Because the people who already know it swear by it, right? Like they all tell you, learn perspective, learn perspective. It's gonna change your mind. It's gonna change your world. It's gonna improve your art significantly. But it seems so daunting and often seems boring. Borrowing? Boring. I guess this is not used in English. um, because we only have so much time to draw things in the day. So when you sit down to draw, you don't really want to spend the time drawing boxes. I should be recording right now and I'm not, because I did some improvements to my stream so that I can record and stream at the same time, but I'm dumb. Okay. Why do I have a warning on YouTube? Interesting. Yeah, but like I was saying, you don't want to sit down and draw boxes in your free time, like whatever little time you have to draw. But every single artist I follow, every single one of them, most of them, seem to have a very good grasp of what this exercise is meant to teach you. And they also if you remember what we were tackling last week, we were trying to learn the body, right? The human body. By drawing the... rather, we spent the whole week trying to learn the lower body of the human being. And we reached the conclusion that drawing the lower part as a box was going to give us like the best results according to what my objectives are, right? Because it just gives us like a solid structure that we can anchor like the legs and all the other parts to. But this box shouldn't be isometric like the one I just did here, right? Like this angle is the same as this one, is the same as this one, is the same as that one, and that one is the same as that one. This is wrong. This is a mistake. This is not a good box. Because if we extend this angle towards infinity, right, like that, it's gonna be the same as this one. And they're pretty much never gonna converge. So because I want to apply this box construction to everything, to like all my characters, I want to be able to pose my characters in cool perspectives and cool shots. We're gonna have to learn perspective. The basis of perspective is that you've got a horizon line, right? Like that can be that one. Man, I hate that this thing is not like pressure sensitive, right? Like it's not like Photoshop where I can make a straight line and it's not like full opacity. But yeah, you have a horizon line, and along this horizon line, you've got one vanishing point here, one here. Well, they are placed somewhere around here, and you've got one like down below. Well, they can be in different places. And from these points, let me grab like another layer with lower opacity. You can like project, I guess, many guidelines like this. Give me 1 second. I think someone's at my door. Give me one second. sorry about that. It's a little inconvenience. It's just, I don't live in a very comfortable place at the moment, so those things are gonna keep happening, but it's the best I can do for the moment, I guess. Yeah, we're gonna just keep projecting these guiding lines from all of these points, right? There's probably a better way to do this. It's probably like, knowing Clip Studio Paint, there's probably a billion tools with which I can do this thing very quickly. But just for today, I'm gonna, well, just for the sake of this explanation, I'm gonna do this in a very like manual way, I guess is would be the term. I don't even know if I'm doing it correctly, especially this lower point, because I am very familiar with like 2-point perspective, but this 3-point perspective is a little bit confusing for me still. But once you have this grid of like, I don't know, guidelines, right? Let me erase this. What we're gonna do now is grab another color, and what this gives us is like a little guiding line, what brush is this? Right, let's grab a little bit of a darker color. Okay, it gives us this guiding line, these guiding lines with which we can construct a box following them, right? Like that. Jesus Christ. Hope that didn't show up on screen, on stream, that massive sound. Windows just blasted my ears with a notification. Right, and then so this line, if we extend it like along its angle, it's not quite correct, right? It's not reaching that point, but that's the thing, right? Like that's what we should correct. Like, I don't want to do this like for the whole box because that's not gonna like teach me anything or gonna train any skill. But the idea is that the lines we draw here should in some way, or like should at least be in the general direction of that point, right? And I'm like struggling a bit, but yeah, I'm just gonna wing it just for the explanation, right? I'm gonna reflect here, and this one should be the same, right? It should go in the general direction of that point, right? Like this one's a little bit better. And the ones that come down, the vertical line, should go in the general direction of this point here. So we have this line here that we can follow. Like, I guess that this is how I expose how actually rusty I am with the drawing tablet. My dexterity is not. It's not quite there. Right, let's go there. And so we do, and now we do the same, right? Like here, I guess we can try to do this ones first, right? And then we can do like a general something like that, right? Like I'm quite like, this is why we're starting this. I'm quite clearly not good at this. But this box is now in perspective, and it's almost like sitting, giving us like a sitting line here. Because the horizon is here, so it's, if we were to draw another one, right? Like let's say here, it's quite exaggerated. Right. Since this like vanishing points are so close together, that can happen. Is this correct? Let me try to do that again. Right, like this vertical line is gonna go like that. This one's gonna go towards that point. This one should go that point too. Alright, we shouldn't be seeing... Interesting, right? Like that's the sort of thing that can happen. Like I start losing my mind. I start like... If you have control over this topic, you're... I'm probably embarrassing myself, but... I don't quite see it. Like, yeah, when I draw here in the middle, it's very easy. But when I start getting close to these vanishing points, like here, example, I don't quite understand how it works. Because, right? Is that correct? Let's throw like a small box next to this one. I guess this one is like right across the... Right, but that's like the general idea. Like every single one of these lines eventually converges in one of these vanishing points, right? Like that's the idea of perspective. But as you can see, this is not an easy topic to learn, and it's like there's people that are very good at using this whole system. The other day I was watching Ninoma Inanis draw like an illustration for anime figure store for Ami Ami, and she just very quickly like placed this whole grid for her to draw like a very convincing perspective for the character she was gonna do. But I think that, oh my god, my voice just cracked. Like establishing this every single time I want to draw something feels a little overwhelming for now, and I don't quite know if I really want it, because I don't know if for my like objectives this is the best how should I say it, if this is the best tool that I need. Like of course this is gonna be very useful for when I wanna like just have a character. I guess we should try to follow the perspective. Right, just a character like standing there. Like that can be useful. Is that a thing? Is this how you do this thing? I clearly can't do this. Like I clearly don't have enough knowledge to this. But the exercise that I want to do today is not as complicated. Or well, it has this. The idea is that I have to picture this in my mind when I'm executing the exercise. Like I need to be thinking about this, but we're gonna be just following a guide drawn by... This stream is just gonna be me constantly butchering everyone's names every single time. Like I'm just gonna be stepping over every single pronunciation. I am so sorry. I'll try my best. This person is called... Sorry, this person is named, I guess that's the correct use of the word, Pete Show, Show, Pete Show, I think. He is a Twitter user that I followed for years, who has been teaching like art for a long time, and I guess he has published things currently. I was under the impression that he had stopped publishing or posting things. Interesting, he posted some things recently. Because the last post I saw recently from him was from like 2023, but like he posted something like last month. Okay, I was under the wrong assumption. But yeah, Pete Shu has this guide. I don't want to post it on stream because I don't know how that works yet. I don't know if I can have people's work on stream, or that can get me in trouble. I don't have the tools yet to like properly credit them while I show the thing. Because we did that with YouTube, but since I messed around with my audio and with my sources, I don't have them. But what I'm gonna do is open up the reference software I have, which is PureRef, and I'm gonna drop the study here. What did I do? Oh god, I did something wrong. Right, let me go back. God, I am professional streamer. Well, I'm not a professional, God, but all right, let's try to. I had set this up. Okay, there we go. Okay, that's better. I spent like a little bit of the weekend messing around with this software because last time it almost drove me crazy. But yeah, now that I have this, I'm gonna try to I guess like explain what the exercise is going to be. So he has a box, like, right? Just a regular box here. Not a box. This is not a box yet. More like a. He has a square. I should draw it properly. Right. Let's draw one straight line there, one straight line there, one there, and one there. Is that correct? God, I'm so rusty with the tablet. Let me, like, readjust myself physically. Maybe that will help. Right, like, I'm quite clearly trying to do a straight horizontal line, but it has, like, a crooked, like, direction. Just out of practice with this tablet. I swear I can draw. Right, so this is our initial square, which is... Let's just pretend that it's like a box looked from a bird's eye view. So this is gonna be box A. And then what we're gonna be doing... if we were to keep looking at the box from the bird's eye view, this box here is gonna rotate... let's say it's not quite the same size, but this is now box B, and then it's gonna keep rotating, and it's now gonna be like a complete 45-degree rotation. There's now box C. Then we're gonna draw this, like, rotate it even more to the point that it becomes almost the same box, but looked at it from the other side. Let's see if I can do it, because you know, I'm very much like, these streams are called learning streams for a reason, right? And this is now box D. And what we're gonna be doing now, because this is like looked at from a bird's eye view, like I said. Let's try to equalize them a little bit. How's the music, by the way, if anyone's here? Is it too loud? Is it fine, or is it annoying or anything? I'm just like grasping. Right. Right, let's pretend that that's correct. I think that I expanded C a little bit too much. That's fine. So what we're gonna be doing now, since these boxes are being looked at from a bird's eye view, I wanna now look at them as if I was like, oh god, now that I see it like this, these two are way too big. Right. Right. Let's pretend now that we are like a person is standing in front of this box, right? Like, we're gonna be here. And this is us from like up top, right? Like from a bird's eye view. Right, so this is us now. Let me grab like my actual brush. Okay. Right, so this is gonna be us. From the bird's eye, from like a bird's eye view, and we are looking at these boxes from this angle. Maybe a little bit further away, but you know, you get the point. But we're gonna be looking. We're gonna be standing like here, ish. And the exercise is gonna be drawing what this person is saying. So in this first example, right? This person is seeing pretty much just the same thing that we drew up there, right? Because like from the angle he's standing, he can only see this structure here, right? But on this next one, right, if we project like this corner, like around this line here, like draw like a little bit of a guideline here. All right, like that's the corner, and this is the other corner. And this is the point that this person is seeing, like something like that. This, like the person in front of the box is now seeing this kind of shape. Right, because the box rotated, so it's this kind of idea. But it looks completely crooked. So let's evaluate what we did wrong. I guess this not being a perfect square is not helping us. And also, I completely ignored this vanishing point, right? Like the vertical one, which in the exercise I'm looking at is not quite present in this particular exercise, in this particular step, the first step. But I should still like take it into account, I guess. It's not, it shouldn't be like as pronounced as I'm making it out to be right now, but it should still be present because that's the whole idea of this exercise, like maintaining perspective, like being able to execute a convincing perspective without drawing that whole grid that we did at the start. Yeah, let's go with this. It's not a perfect square. Like I could shave like a little bit of, right? That's more squarish, but I was just trying to like follow the line. This one here, it's gonna be like the turning corner. I guess I shouldn't shave off so much. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Someone's gonna. I think I'm receiving a call right now. Give me. Sorry about that. Someone, family member that never calls me, just called me out of the blue. It was interesting. But yeah, I guess I was saying like I shouldn't shave this part here because it starts looking a little bit too much like a 45-degree angle. I think the mistake I'm making here is that this face here, right? If we look at it here, right, it shouldn't be so visible as this one. And it's happening here, but I think that we have to do is shave off a little bit of this one. But now it looks like a rectangle, like a rectangle. Let's just go with the first attempt with it. Let's just be confident and we'll see what happens next. This one should be like completely down the middle, right? And then we can like project those vanishing points. Right? Why is it so crooked? Why am I so bad at drawing? Right. You see how I can't quite draw like straight lines? They seem to have like an inclination towards a side. And is this gonna go away eventually if I keep drawing? Like, will I get dexterous enough with the drawing tablet so that I can draw straight lines? I don't quite know. It's like having to redevelop your muscle memory that you have developed in traditional art already. It's a little bit frustrating, but let's just bear with it. Right? And we're gonna... Right, so that's gonna be our box numbers, our box C, rather our box C1. And this one should be the opposite of the B2, right? Of the B1, sorry. I'm gonna follow this center line here, this corner line, and this one here. And I'm gonna try to follow the perspective in a way that makes sense, or is at least convincing. Would flipping the canvas be easier? Kind of. Not really, but... Is this why people use stabilization or smoothing? Because yeah, it feels a little bit rough. But yeah, there's our... I guess... B or D1. It's not quite right, but this is the first attempt I ever do at this exercise. The idea is to keep doing this over and over and over again until you do it like right. But the next step in this exercise is to take this A1, like this first rotation that we've done has been like along this angle, like along this axis, I should say, right? Like it's rotating within one axis. And what we're gonna do next is take now take these boxes, right, from the first row, from the second row we've drawn, and we're gonna apply a rotation on this axis, right? Like they're almost gonna come like rotating towards us, the viewer, not the person here. Like now in this angle, we are the person looking at these boxes, so now we're gonna rotate it towards us. So let's so this one, like the one that looks almost exactly like a square, is gonna come towards us and start showing a little bit of the top, right? Because it rotated, so this face that was flat here is now showing a little bit. Alright. Something like this. A2? Is that correct? It seems to be mostly fine. Right? Like, because this is the first time that I ever do this exercise, I am not quite adept at identifying the errors quite yet, so you just have to bear with it and keep going and keep watching and keep trying until you grasp it. For this one, how do I tackle this? I'm gonna establish like this guiding lines that we did first, but this corner here is the one that's gonna come towards us this way, like we did here. So it's not gonna be here, it's gonna be here. And that top line, the top face, top surface is gonna show up a bit. So let's... If this was here, right, before, and it comes forward, I guess it should be like that. Because the vanishing point is like... somewhere around here, right? No, this is wrong. The vanishing point is somewhere around there, so when it comes down like this, that's I'm a little bit confused. Because in the guide I'm following, they established this face like that, right? Let me erase this. And then they go like that. All right. They, is that correct? I'm gonna keep moving on, and then I'll come back to this and reevaluate it. Of course, there's like bad line quality construction, but that's like time will fix it, kind of thing. At least I hope. I'm more worried about like the things that I have to make an active effort to get better at. I guess this rotation that we're doing is not quite so tame as I thought. And that's why we see a lot of this stop phase. This is B2. Right. Let's establish that line. Let's establish this line. Let's establish that line here. And now let's, I guess it's the same idea as the one we just drew, but we have to like follow the the idea of those vanishing points, right? It's not quite so, like, we have to avoid that isometry that we were talking about at the start, of having like all the angles be the same. Because my hope is that, right, like by drawing this, if we were to follow this line like to infinity, it should eventually converge with this one, which it does, but this one should converge around the same point, and it doesn't. Like, it should be more like that to be a correct perspective. Right, like that's a little bit better, right? But the same should happen to the other side, which is kind of correct. But yeah, you can see that this one like completely missed the mark. So it's the bottom parts that I'm like struggling with the most. They should be way more pronounced if we want to achieve the goal of this exercise. I also need to like practice conserving the proportion. So I'm gonna redraw this one. I'm gonna be silent for a second and try my best to really focus on doing this box. If I flip the canvas, would that help? Kind of. Right, is that correct? Let me finish. Let me clean this up a bit. Right, and then let's do this one, which should be the reverse of this one. Something that I'm not taking into account is that after this rotation, for example in this box, because this top part came towards us, but this lower part here went away from us, this perspective, like this lower perspective, is way more pronounced than it was before. So this shouldn't be parallel, right? It should be like going towards... It should be more towards a common vanishing point. So I wonder if that was the mistake I was making that made it look not quite convincing enough. Same here. And this should be going like... Because this angle is completely like perfectly centered, this line is gonna be straight, but the other ones are gonna go towards that vanishing point because this lower part of the figure went away from us, so it's gonna vanish into the horizon. Not into the horizon, like away from our depth perception. Right, and this one, let's follow this line here and draw there, draw here, and draw there. Let's try our best, I guess. There. There, and this ones, I'm making the same mistake again. Should be more banished towards the lower part, the bottom. Same with this one. This one should be going towards that vanishing point. Right. They look like boxes that someone has stepped on. But this is why we practice. Right, and the last step here, right, that this is C2 and this is D2. C2 and D2 are basically the same box in my exercise. So I think we're gonna have to redraw the whole D line, the column, sorry. But let's finish and then we'll do that after. So yeah, let me make this image a little bit more like bigger, a little bit bigger. I'm sorry, English is not my first language, but I try my best. Right, A4. No, we're not quite at the last step. I'm actually missing one. Because this last step that we're gonna be doing is bringing this rotation to the middle of this height, right? Like, if we look at this height, the rotation is up to here, but we're now gonna bring it like straight to the middle of this whole distance. So let me what was I gonna... Right. When I'm tired, my brain just starts shutting down. Start like getting small like lapsuses of just not focusing at all on what I'm saying. Right, I'm gonna try to achieve this. So now we're gonna establish the square. Is it always a square? Let me look at the original post and see. Maybe that can help me a bit. Hmm. 1, 2, 3, 4. It is a square, right? So what I'm seeing is that this shapes, right? Like for example, this one, B1, should always be contained within a square, which is clearly not happening with mine, right? That could help me like maintain proportion. I'll try that next. Let me then draw a square first here. And here I'll place, I'll find the middle. Mm-hmm. And from here, we should be able to project our box. Something like that. Right, so if we were to maintain proportion, it would almost be something like that. Right, and it would still be, this would now be A3. I guess, since I really want to get good at this, I'm gonna try to draw the box with no guiding lines. I'm just gonna take like the first one as a point of reference. And I'm just gonna go with it. I'm noticing that the music is maybe a little bit short. So it can become like a little bit annoying. Like, you know, like those... Sometimes VTubers have a BGM that it's a little bit short, so it just keeps on playing and playing and playing. And it can become like distracting. Especially when I'm not talking. Like, the idea of the music is just to fill the void of when I'm focusing on and just trying to explain, like think something, or like trying to do something that requires my full focus. But if it's always the same, like, few chords, it's gonna become a little bit tiresome, I think. Right, let's put that there and put that there. And let's focus. I'm trying to rush. Shouldn't be doing that. This is wrong. Interesting. Right. Let's just go for it. So I can stay like noodling for quite a while and not advancing. Let's keep going. Hmm. This is not quite right. This... Damn, dude, it's just boxes, but it has my brain like fired up, trying to comprehend what I'm looking at. Such a simple shape and such a simple exercise. But... It's been like an hour since I started the stream. I'm gonna take a quick break. Let's finish this line and then... Let's finish the exercise and then I'll take the break. I don't want to like lose my focus. If this line goes like that, then this one... Right, this line is this line here. So the one below that should be quite exaggerated to follow like that flow. This one is like that, so this one should be like that, and then this one is that correct? It's better than the one above, definitely. This would be our D3. Man, I have a problem with proportions. Should really get better at that too. This is a good opportunity to practice it. And then this is now no longer gonna be in the middle. It's gonna be here, like almost 3/4. So I guess I don't want to follow the guidelines, because the idea is that I should get like adept at doing this just by visualizing it. So let's go with that. I guess I didn't do a good job in this one because I was just copying the reference. Just try to visualize it. Try to... I'm telling this to myself. Just try to draw it like... A4. Gonna do very quick pass. Like this is this vertex. Like this should be like. Why are these lines like almost parallel to each other? I'll look at the exercise after this. This would be B4 and that one's rough, but let's move on. So this is C3 and let's draw C4, which is should be like again down the middle. So we're gonna establish this line here. It's not easy. Dumb boxes. I think that this perspective like should be more exaggerated. But it should also be symmetrical. Let's keep going. Right. So this fourth step was a mess. And I am not able to visualize it quite as well. So what I'm gonna do now is take a little break, right? Like 5 minutes. I'm just gonna go to the bathroom. And then I'm gonna come back, analyze, and try to redo. And I'm gonna try to like, while I'm redoing that, I'm not gonna put my full focus on it. I'm just gonna start yapping, as I said on the comment, about some plans, and I want to like reflect about what I'm doing right now. So I'll be right back. If anyone's watching, just give me a minute. I'll be right back. Hello everyone, I'm back. Right, so just gonna try to redo the whole exercise. Let me not forget to switch to the art scene like I did last time. I'm gonna redo this whole exercise because especially that fourth step didn't quite work as I expected. Like I'm clearly noticing quite a limitation with my just dexterity with the drawing tablet. Because if I was doing this in traditional art, right, like in my sketchbook, I feel like I would have much more like control over where my lines are going. Because right there, like right, what I just tried to do there, I was trying to make a straight line down, like parallel to the border of the page, and I can't do it. Like, it's not natural. It doesn't naturally come to me. Right? Like, it always has, like, a tension. Like a little bit of a pull towards one side that I can't quite control. Let me focus and try to do it. It's... it doesn't feel natural, right? Like, you just kind of grow used to the paper, you know, like the resistance the paper gives you allows you to, like, you just grow used to it. But I think that if I just keep practicing this, I should eventually get better at avoiding this. Man, it feels difficult. Oh god. Yeah. Because it's just developing muscle memory. Because I'm not looking at... If I do it looking at the tablet, would it be better? It's weird because I guess my tablet is not in the same position always. So that can, like, kind of mess with me. I've seen people that have it, like, at an angle. No, that's that's not great. I guess no. All right, so I'm gonna put it back to how it was, and just try to redo the exercise. So let me grab this. I'm gonna redo the whole thing, and start from zero. So here we have our basic box, like our perfect square box. I'm gonna try to also talk about different things while I'm doing this, and maybe that will let my mind be a little bit more at ease, and I don't know, like, not hyper focus on my mistakes. What I wanted to talk about is that what I'm doing right now, what I plan to do with this channel, because after last week, right, like, I was having a lot of fun with the streams and everything. This is hard. Concentrating, like, talking, and it's not easy. But yeah, like, my objective in, like, overall, like, the main goal of this channel is to just become a good artist eventually, right? I just want to be able to create the art that I want, but I also kind of want to I guess inspire sounds so pretentious. More like, right, like, I don't plan, like, I don't aspire to be like a big successful content creator. If you look at the description of this, is my mic muted? Please tell me it's not. It's not. Thank God. If you look at the description, I'll say there that the main reason I'm streaming, the main reason I started streaming my art process is because when I'm live, I kind of have my brain hooked on that mentality, right? Like I am live right now. I am not performing, like I am not putting on a show, but people are watching. Even if I have 0 viewers, I think there's someone in chat right now. If you're here, say hello. Thank you. I just want to know who it is. If it's someone I know, or if you're a random viewer that stumbled upon this stream for some reason, welcome. And thank you for watching. But I want to know if it's someone I know. But yeah, like even if even when I have 0 viewers, just the idea of the whole ritual of preparing the stream, doing the thumbnail, pressing go live, kind of gets my brain into this being perceived mentality or like state of mind, and that I found that helps me. How should I say it? It helps me focus, or not focus, because I'm clearly not focused right now. I am struggling very much to juggle speaking and drawing at the same time. But it helps my brain not scatter as much. Like as I'm struggling right now, but I'm still drawing. I'm still performing the action of drawing very poorly. But what I mean is that I don't lose that drive to be performing the action of drawing. Because when I draw by myself, right, like let's say I would get home back from work. But by the way, I have a full-time job as not an artist, and it's not a job I hate or anything, but you know, like it's definitely a draining job. So I would come home very tired, very tired, and I would just like force. Sorry. I would just like force myself to draw. And once I start drawing, like once I start putting the pencil to the paper, it becomes fun. But the struggle before that, like trying to draw, like trying to get myself to draw after such a long like day of work, it wasn't easy, right? Like it wasn't I am so sorry. This is probably the worst time, the worst I've ever done trying to speak. But what I'm trying to say is like the action of getting myself to the computer and drawing is not easy. Because I'm just like, I'm tired. I want to stay in bed. I just want to lay down and just do nothing until the next day. That's kind of the vibe I would be in. But since I started streaming, so I just gave it a try, right? Like I just decided I'm gonna set up like a very quick OBS stream setup, and I'm just gonna go live and see what happens. And I did like the whole roleplay, the whole drinking water. I did like the whole roleplay, I call it, because I scheduled the stream and everything, and I connected and made my starting soon screen and my BRB screen and everything. Like that whole action, that whole performance of I'm gonna schedule a stream and I'm gonna go live at this time and I'm gonna prepare a topic for the day and study that topic. It makes my brain organize itself a little bit more easily. Like I don't sit in front of the computer or in front of my sketchbook and wonder, what am I gonna do today? Now, I have that mentality of I'm gonna go live and I'm just gonna explore this topic that I know it's gonna make me a better artist, but I've never put the work into doing so. So last week, I started with the lower body anatomy because it's the topic that I feel, how should I say it, like quite weak at, right? Like I don't, oh, interesting. I'm sorry to stop talking, but I just noticed that in this first step, right, like this is the first step. The guide I'm following, or the guide I am studying, establishes the horizon line, and from here he like, from this horizon line he's able to like, why am I so bad at this? Are people that are like capable of drawing like swords, I don't know, like completely straight on a drawing tablet with no screen? I hope I get, like, I hope those skills just develop, because it's not easy. I'm having quite a hard time. But yeah, he establishes this horizon line to place the objects like directly in the middle of it. Even the next steps are placed in the middle of that horizon line. Suppose that it's very clear, like this is just an object at eye level. So if we do that, right, if we establish this horizon line here, is it gonna help me do this? But yeah, I'm gonna go back to the topic. I haven't forgotten. Like last week, it was my first week of streaming, and I decided to start with the lower leg anatomy, the lower body anatomy, sorry, which is a topic that I just feel weak at. Like I don't feel like I can do it. I would always just like, how should I say it? Like I just improvise it basically. I just, right, like I'm drawing my character, right, and I draw a very pretty face, right, like this is my little elf character, and I draw very detailed eyes, right, this whole idea, and maybe I establish a nose, maybe I don't, maybe I just go with the anime hatched thingy, and we just, right, like, oh well, I'm drawing my character, beautiful thingy here, and she has this and she has that, and we establish this beautiful neck, and you know, we go for the trapezius, right? And yeah, I can draw the torso, yeah, sure, whatever. And we've established the pectoral muscles and maybe her breast. Oh yeah, I can definitely do that. I can defend myself doing this. I establish like a collarbone here, and from there we take out the arms and stuff, and right, like this is something that even if I'm like godly or anything, like I'm a professional at it, I can like wing it. I can get it out there, right? But then here is when I start struggling. Like, what the fuck do I do here? I shouldn't curse. I don't want my channel to be like that. But yeah, it's like I start feeling completely lost as to what I'm doing. So I dedicated the first week of the stream to studying that. And I was like, well, clearly, if I dedicate a whole week to studying one topic, by the end of the week, I'll be very good at it. Like, I'll be like, I'll have completely solved my problems with it. And that's not realistic, right? I don't know why I had like such um a misguided idea. I like if I had thought about it for like a second, it's quite clearly that it would have been quite clear that that was not gonna happen. So during the week, I was having a lot of fun. I was just like, yeah, I'm enjoying going live. I'm enjoying hanging out with my with the friends that have shown up. I some people have checked out my stream that are not like acquaintances, and I was very happy about that. Like I received a very beautiful comment by a fellow artist, and I was like, yeah, this is fantastic. I'm having a great time doing this. But at the end of the week, right, like during Saturday when I didn't stream, I just sat there and I thought, did I learn anything this week? Did I actually like did I actually put no, I think the self doubt started coming like on Friday when I made a stream called like let's put everything we learned to practice or to use, and I realized well I haven't really learned anything, or rather like yeah I learned some things, but they didn't really result in me being in me like being able to apply that knowledge very easily to new art. And I just kept wondering why. What is it that didn't click? Because when I sketch, when I do my sketchbook stuff, I don't. I usually grasp concepts very quickly, right? Like I can understand things within. I don't know, like what is this? Uh, within like I don't know 5 drawings of that topic. I don't become like an expert at it, but I even if I'm still bad at it, I feel like I grasp a certain uh, understanding of it to the point that I can go and be like, yeah, I can now apply this. I can now start applying this to new art, even if even if I'm doing it incorrectly. But with the first week of studying that I did, it didn't feel quite like that. It felt like I had done a lot, right? Like I studied the complete anatomy of the leg, and then I studied how other artists use that anatomy for, like they conceptualize it, that they turn it into something else, right? Or rather, they simplify it and how they use it for their own art. I studied that and I found Chomang's method that I really enjoyed. And well, okay, yeah, I'm gonna just get married to this method and I'm gonna apply it from now on. I couldn't do that. I was just I realized how many doubts I had, right? Like on that, if you go check that Friday stream, I was like, yeah, like I understand the box method, but what happens in this case? What happens in that case? Um, so I just kind of fell into this self-doubt episode on Saturday. I was even planning to stream on Saturday or Sunday, but I just couldn't. I just felt kind of bad. Like, well, I just spent a week studying and I don't feel like I learned anything. But I guess that's just natural. Like, that's just art. I can't expect to become an expert. Like, I can't expect to just cover my weaknesses in 1 week. So, but I also think like maybe the approach I had was not quite correct. Was not quite it wasn't like intentional enough. Hmm. Because for example, like Tuesday last week we studied the whole leg anatomy, right? Like we studied every single muscle. We learned them. I couldn't memorize it. That even during the stream, I was like, I'm not gonna memorize this. I'm not gonna be able to know all of these things. Uh, but it's good to know, like, to at least understand how they work. But then, what am I trying to say? The next day, I tried to just go into YouTube and look for any tutorial. Like, I'm just gonna put how to draw legs on YouTube and follow the first tutorial I found. And I spent like, I don't know, 20 to 30 minutes watching a tutorial that wasn't a bad tutorial by any means. Like, the artist is clearly an expert in what he does. But I knew from the start that it was not something that would help me. It was not something that was aligned with my goals. But because I was like, well, this is the exercise I'm gonna do, right? Like, I'm gonna go into YouTube and learn from whatever YouTuber shows up first, right? Almost like this TikTokish attitude, like vibe. Oh, I went into YouTube and I clicked any random video to learn about, right? That that kind of thing. I don't know what I was thinking. That's clearly not how I operate. I am more someone who needs like the information, and I need to sit there analyzing it and trying to understand it, and then I can like make my own like relationships. And by relationships I mean, for example, if this is the kneecap, I know that this is the femur here, and I know that this is the tibia here, and they create like the knee with this massive volume here. Like, this is not something that someone explained to me, but this is like how I remember that function. That's what I call, like, I don't call them that. I learned that from another artist, but that's what are called relationships, right? But after I have like fully like I have like not like a full understanding, because that's like expert stuff, but when I have like a general understanding of the topic, I build my own relationships, and then I try those relationships and then evaluate if they're correct, and then I start iterating on them, and that's how basically I have learned everything that I have learned. But throughout last week, I didn't do that. I was just like, oh, well, I'm gonna be entertaining and try to be a streamer, right? And well, that's not me. I'm just some dude that wants to draw. I want to get better at it. Like, I want to study. I want to learn fundamentals and learn perspective and learn all this stuff, but I'm not gonna turn into a YouTuber guy like, oh, what's up everyone? It's Sajeval with you. Today we're gonna try $1 the drawing tablet versus $1 million now. Right? Like, I can't do that. I just, if I was to like describe a pipe dream, right? Like, what do I want? If I had an audience, what would I like my streams to be like? I would just like to bring up a topic for the week or for the day. I don't know. Some days I would just like to go on stream and draw something like one of my OCs, or just make fan art for a character that for a anime that I'm watching at the moment that I'm enjoying or something. But regularly I would just like to be studying and getting better, and I would like people that want to get better at the topic to show up, and maybe we could discuss and learn alongside each other. Like, I don't want this to become like generic YouTuber stuff. Yeah, what's up everybody? I don't know. I can't even like parody it, but you know what I mean. Um, I'm trying to do this right without looking at like every single guideline that I have. Right, but these two start looking like rectangle-ish. Let's keep moving. Yeah, I guess what I mean is that I want to reevaluate the format that I followed last week. Since I don't yet have an audience, I guess that's a blessing, because it means that that first experiment was I have the comfort of knowing that even if it was a failure, nobody was there to to watch it, like to judge it. Like, oh well, this guy spent this whole week drawing, and by the end of the week, he's drawing the same shit that he was drawing before. um, why am I cursing? I shouldn't be doing that. But yeah, I guess I I wasn't satisfied with the results of the first week. I know that it's impossible to become an expert at something in 1 week, but but it should feel that I took a little step forward, and I know that's possible because I have done it. Right, like I have studied a topic for a couple of hours and felt like the knowledge I gathered is applicable to something in the future. Well, last week I feel like at this point I feel like I already forgot everything I did, and that's a little bit frustrating. I guess it's what I wanted to like vent about. I guess that's the word. Is vent the correct word? I guess. But yeah, I'm gonna reevaluate it. Like watching YouTubers explain things was very fun, and like commenting on what they were saying and giving my opinion on what I like and what I don't like about their approach. That was fun, but it's also very time consuming because we gotta watch the whole tutorial and then we gotta like evaluate it and see and try to follow it and try to learn something from it. So I guess we can do the same, but I could like curate the streams the 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 tutorials better. Like next time, like I could already have I could prepare the tutorial list during the weekend. I guess is what I'm getting at, and then just know that these streams I keep saying, these tutorials I'm gonna watch are definitely gonna be in line with how I approach art and what I expect from it. What is this? I want to do this correctly at least once. Why is it so difficult? Let's see. Guess my mistake is that I'm doing like same angle here. This should be more like... Is that better? I think it is, but this line should be more like... more like that. Yeah, that feels better, but I think I can do better than that. Let me try again. Oh yeah, I'm gonna like reassess. Like I'm gonna take a look back, see what I liked, what I'm liking about streaming, what I'm not liking, and try to fix it. And because the objective is not really to create content, even though I'm gonna put some effort into that. Like you can see, I made my avatar better, and I wanna like I want to learn about this world because I find it fascinating. But the main focus is always gonna be on improving on art, and I want to be artist first, second, third, and maybe around like 10th we can think about being a content creator. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, I want to be an artist more than anything. Creating content is just a way that I have found right now to that helps me focus on drawing. I guess I never explained like what happens if I don't. I just start like beyond on top of not having that like drive to get onto the computer and draw. I can sometimes I just start drawing, but I get distracted and I start scrolling on my phone and checking Twitter and checking Instagram, or or if I'm in a computer, I open a new tab and I start watching YouTube videos instead of drawing, right? Like I can do that kind of stuff, and that just ends up turning 3 hours of drawing into an hour and a half, realistically. So that's why that's what streaming helps me with, because right now my whole screen is covered with Clip Studio Paint and OBS. My reference my reference software, so I cannot physically go into Twitter right now. Like I would have to like minimize like 7 different I'm still seeing the mistakes. I want to fix them. Right, but yeah, streaming just helps me focus on drawing and not doom scrolling on social media is what I'm getting at. So that's why I'm doing it mainly. But I do have a plan. I wanna like turn content from the stream maybe into weekly videos, even though like the only time I realistically have to I would realistically only ever had to make a video would be Saturdays and Sundays. And this Saturday in particular made me realize how little time you actually have during a weekend. Because yeah, I was like, oh yeah, I'll just wake up on the Saturday and I'll just get on the computer and I'll just start drawing or editing or something, right? Like I'll take this weekend and I'll make the most of it by drawing or by, right, like I'm gonna be very productive into this project this weekend is what I told myself. But then you realize that weekends is when you do the things you can't do because of your job. So I had to go pick up groceries, I had to take my dog to bed, and I almost forgot doing that. I had, right, I had to do a couple other things. They weren't major, right? Like they weren't like massive activities. They're just things that they just take like within like a lot of little activities that take within between 10 minutes or they end up eating 2 hours, right? And your weekend is just filled with little activities like that. And you realize that you thought you were gonna have like 12 hours of drawing, and really they are just the same 3 hours you have every day because of all the things you have to do on the weekend. I guess this one is this step that I'm trying to do here, because this is almost half, right? Almost. So, since I'm running out of time, I'm just gonna cheat very quickly. And I'm gonna redraw this one. They're not quite so pronounced. That's a mistake I'm making. Yeah. So I'm gonna try to take the time I have free on the weekends and try to make some content out of what I'm doing on the stream, so that I can like turn into a video and maybe that split that video into YouTube Shorts or TikToks or Instagram, so that maybe, you know, pipe dream stuff, if I could have like 5 people hanging out with me here, just people that are interested in drawing too, would just make the stream like a lot more, I guess, less lonely. It's not like I feel like, oh, I'm so lonely here, I'm so sad. No, it's just I guess I got shown throughout this whole stream that I can jab to myself like forever. That's a lie. I noticed that last week, like around the 2nd hour mark, my brain just shuts down. Like all my yapping goes off. Having to drink more water than usual this stream. I think I had a little bit of like a sore throat throughout the weekend. And I guess it's not completely healed yet. So, yeah. God, let's finish this very quickly. This is the middle, right? Around here. Not quite, but yeah. Let's just finish very quickly because it's already 10 p.m. and I guess I should talk about why my schedule is so strict. Like I have, like 10 p.m. becomes almost the witching hour and I have to turn everything down and turn everything off and go to sleep. Like I said, I have a full-time job, but I also work out, and I've been like, this year I've been like very serious about it. And I guess like if I was like, I know that realistically I should give up on either art. Well, not on art. I'm not ever gonna give up on art, but I should give up on like having a great body or like looking great. If I was like, rather, what I'm trying to say is like, if I were to give up on the gym, I could like use the time I spend on it to just draw more, which would just give me better results in this whole experiment. But if I were to be completely honest, the gym like just does wonders for my mental state, because I'm not the most stable person, I guess. I've had quite a few years. I'll talk about my artistic journey at some point. But yeah, if I'm not feeling well, I just don't. I have the worst time trying to draw. I and forcing yourself is not great. I've done it. Like I have forced myself to create art just because oh, this is my dream. I have to take it seriously. I'm gonna draw even if I don't want to, and it doesn't end well. Like you end up just resentful, or I ended up just resentful and bitter, and without being able to, like, you would think that it would only ruin your own experience with art, like you force it and then you ruin your own experience of creating art, but it ends up ruining everything. Like I couldn't even enjoy artists that I loved anymore. Like they would publish a piece and I would look at it and I was yeah, this is clearly beautiful, but now I'm jealous and now I am envious and I'm bitter that I can't do that and that I'm never gonna be able to do that. Blah, 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 woe's me, oh woe's me, you know. But the gym has helped me stay away from that. The gym has this way of just letting you approach things at your own pace. Like it's in the gym, it's not important to be able to lift the. It's never. How do I phrase this? In the gym, it's never about who can lift the most. The gym is always about what you can lift. Like the heaviest thing you yourself can lift safely without hurting yourself. And that I think that if we approach art that way, right? Like what's the hardest thing that I can do right now, that I can tackle right now without damaging myself, without causing myself anguish or anything like that. What is it? And we go step by step. Eventually I'm gonna be able to tackle harder things with more comfort, or without hurting, without causing so much damage to my own ego, I guess. I'll work on this allegory or this metaphor later. I'm not a smart person. But yeah, I guess that's the exercise done. Let me evaluate between the two which one came out better. So this first row, I think is well done enough. Like the effect is happening. This second one was lost here. From B2 onward is completely lost. The 45-degree angle one. These two are basically the same. And the last one, nah, it doesn't work. And the D, this one here kind of works surprisingly, kind of. But the thing is that this D1 is almost the same as C1. Like these three were way too close, so the results were like very close together. In the next exercise, I think that I was able to I guess what am I trying to say? To like differentiate these three a little bit better. And I like C1 and D1. B1 looks like a shipping container. It didn't quite work. This one worked better than the other exercise, but over here I lost it a little bit. This one worked a lot better. Like this C column, I'm still struggling with proportions, right? Like I'm not able to maintain this proportion, but overall the exercise worked a lot better. this one, I like D1. I don't like D2. D3, I made the mistake of making these two lines almost parallel. D4 kind of works. I kind of like D4. But yeah, I think I'm gonna keep practicing this on my sketchbook. See if my sketchbook is any easier. But yeah, for now, I think that it was. I think it was a successful attempt at this exercise for the first time ever. This is the first time I have ever tried to do this. So, yep, I think that's gonna be it for tonight. Thanks everyone who showed up. I think that this was a very silent chat for tonight, but that's fine, right? Like, it's not that I expect anything more. My throat, I need to take care of it. I hope I'm better tomorrow. I'll get like some throat medicine. Tomorrow I hope to fix the music issue, because I was listening to it throughout the stream. It definitely becomes annoying at some points, but it didn't drive me crazy, which is a good thing. But I'll guess I'll try to find a longer track that I like. I'll check the audio after the stream is done, see how it came out. But yeah, that's it for tonight. Thank you all. I appreciate everyone who even just took a little peek at the stream. And if you are watching this bot or this archive afterwards, why? How? But thank you. I appreciate you very much. You know, if you're here, leave a like if you want to help me out. But yeah, don't. I know that this is just like my little baby steps into this world. I don't expect anything out of it. But yeah, I need to come up with a catchphrase to say at the end. I'll just say adios for now. Good night, everyone, and thank you for watching. This is Sajual, signing out. I can't say it. Good night.